What's up, guys? My name's Dean, or as most of you know me, Twisty, and it's time to take a look at the semi-finals of our season mode. This is semi-final number 2, I think, anyway. So this is Geelong and the Swans. Obviously, as you can see, Geelong out to a 5-goal lead. Didn't want to really show the whole game, so I'm only going to show the last quarter here between the Swans and Geelong. And I'm kind of just going to talk about some other stuff while that plays out in the background here. So kind of just wanted to talk about the AFL season, what worked and what really didn't work, what's probably going to be good for next year, and things like that, because we are sort of getting towards the back end of the season, and I'm sort of not doing anything this round, so I figured I'd talk just a little bit about stuff for a couple of minutes and then just do some commentating later on for the other game. But yeah, I think that there was a few things that really worked this season that we kind of saw last season. First thing was probably Thursday night footy. I think I really enjoy when those Thursday night games are in that middle area of the year where there's about 5 or 6 weeks in a row where there's, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. So I really like that. Thursday night games, I think they're much better than Monday night games. I don't think anyone really wants to go to the football on a Monday, but at least on a Thursday it's sort of closer to the start of the weekend when everyone's wrapping up their week anyway, so they'd be more likely to enjoy a Thursday night game than a Friday, or than a Monday night game, sorry. And I mean, I've gone to Thursday games for years, Easter Thursday anyway. It's generally been Richmond v Carlton, so that's something that I really enjoy. I think the big problem is if you are going to be doing those Thursday night games, I don't want to see 3 bye rounds 3 weeks in a row where there's so little football spread across a weekend. When you've only got 6 games and you want to spread it across 4 nights, it's so frustrating for someone as a viewer, because you get 1 game Thursday, 1 game Friday, and then Saturday you've just got 3 games. I mean, I know you guys are probably like, well, 3 games, do you still get, footy all day pretty much, but it doesn't give you that much variety, and a lot of the times in these bye rounds we see teams that get blown out because they're sort of realizing their season's done, and there's teams inside the top 8 that are pressing harder, or you haven't really seen a real competitiveness throughout those bye rounds, and it's very I'd like to see good quality games. Like I like being spoiled for choice kind of thing. One thing though that might have worked is the bye week before finals. The only real reason for bringing in the bye was because teams were just exploiting the shit out of not having a bye, and you saw Fremantle do it 2 years. They did it in 2013, they did it in 2015. Resting a number of players before the final series. North Melbourne did it as well last year, and it was just an embarrassing look for AFL, and they were just stupid to try and go along with it and see that, oh yeah, this is going to work kind of thing. No, Gil. No, you're an imbecile. At least crack down on the rule rather than creating a bye weekend. But I do like the bye weekend. I mean, in terms of, if it gives us the quality of football that we've got the first week of finals, then yes, it's a success. But it's kind of hard to tell because we've had the same top 8 teams since round 6, I think. I think round 5, the Gold Coast was the last team in that top 8, and then they got knocked out in round 6 when they went to 3-3. So we know that these 8 teams were the best 8 teams in the competition. We know Hawthorn or Geelong are always going to give us a great game. We know, Adelaide's always going to have an exciting forward line. We know that, the Dogs, what a story they were last weekend, coming out and winning. And then the other game, what was the other game? The Giants, the rise of the Giants. I mean, granted they've had, more first round picks than any other team ever. I don't even know. But yeah, it's been a crazy start to the final series. This is the other game now that I've got on in the background here. This is the other semi-final. North Melbourne coming in after West Coast won, I think, by a point. West Coast won the first elimination final by a point. Anyway, so that's hopefully going to set up something exciting here if they win the first one by a point. But What we then went on to do, what did we then go on to do? Yeah, there was really too much else about the season that sort of, did it for me, I guess. We might have Good Friday football next year. Whether or not that's actually going to be a thing, I don't know. Whether we need it, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people can get over the fact that there's one day that you have a public holiday and there's no football, kind of thing. What day is Anzac Day next year? I think the Anzac Day Eve game is a good initiative. Anzac Day 2017. Is it on I guess it's on a Tuesday again next year. So that'll mean we have Richmond, Melbourne Monday night. Okay, so that wouldn't be too bad. We can spread across 5 days next year. That'd be okay, I guess. Having that play out. And I just think it's been, an average season. I mean, a few people might say, oh, it's been a really great season. Well, it's been a great season for 8 teams, and that's not really an exciting competition kind of thing. We want it to be a good season for 12 teams, 14 teams, 15 teams even, We want everyone to be fighting till the end and, nothing being locked in. And today we had the worst news possible. O'Meara going to Hawthorn. It's just garbage equalisation by the AFL. I don't even understand what they're doing. I mean, the academies, you've got the academies, you've got O'Meara going to Hawthorn, you probably have Tom Mitchell from the Swans going to Hawthorn, you have Vickery go to Hawthorn and no doubt turn into a good player. So, yeah, it's just, the AFL needs to sort out their stuff, pretty much. And they just keep handing out free tickets to any team that wants to try their luck, kind of thing. Like GWS will be a monster for the next 8 years. Like, I don't think they'll miss the finals for at least 6 to 7 seasons. They're in this zone right now where they've got all these players, and the thing is, if they lose one player, they get another first round pick back or 2 first round picks back. We saw what happened with Treloar, and then they can use those to get academy players and things like that. So it's kind of a butchered system at the moment, and it's really stuck a whole bunch of teams at the bottom. The Dogs are sort of the one team that has gone through these compromised drafts and just said, hey, look what we can do. We are just building our side, picking very carefully who we're going to play, and just make it awesome. So, anyway, that's sort of me just rambling about the AFL stupidity. Another thing I didn't like about the season, the MRP, they were dumb. Inconsistent as usual. Hopefully they improve sometime in the future, because I don't think that's happening. But somewhere we hopefully can see something interesting happen. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about crap that happened this season now, and let you guys watch the end of this match as I commentate over the top of it in all of its glory. Out of the middle, Goldstein goes to Wells. Out of the middle, long kick to Nahas. Oh, Robbie Nahas. The most unlikely of heroes could give North Melbourne a 7-point lead. And he does. It's a 7-point North lead. 18 minutes to play, final term. Goldstein to Wells. Out of there to Nahas. And they're in business. Oh, but now it's the Eagles' turn, and they go to Kennedy, who's probably a little too far out to score. Goes long at the top of the goal square, right on the goal line, actually. Spilled away. Touched. So, okay, what the hell happened there? But the Eagles will get their opportunity here. Kennedy's got the mark. He's about 50 out. Handball to Hill. Terrible handball decision. Cunnington picked it up. Handball to Gibson. Goes with a little ball inside towards Del Sano through the corridor. He's got no real option forward. Goes towards Goldstein, but right further afield. Finds him. Now he's got a few targets inside the forward 50. Goes in the Lindsay Thomas direction at the back. Petrie. Tarrant. Oh, Tarrant. Get around him. West Coast must be quick now. Nat Nui to Wellingham towards Hill. Oh, it's Kennedy again. He's been solid there, but he's just been too far out to score. Oh, that's just poor manning by McDonald there. Kennedy found Lacroix. He's in the pocket. on the right side for a right footer there, and he, Lacra, nails the goal. So it's back to a one-straight kick now. 10.5 minutes to play, final term. He's marking absolutely everything in this final term. Out of there, Hibbard towards Tarrant. Oh, Hearn sort of ran over the top of the ball. Inside the 50, Lindsay Thomas. Again, just poor manning by another defender. In Lindsay Thomas have a shot from the opposite pocket on the ground where Lacra did, and we'll have the exact same result. Be a big upset now if West Coast actually get over the line here. Nat Nui out of the middle. Ball's going to spill out to the Eagles. They go along the wing. It's who's battling it out here? It might be Higgins and Hearn. Hearn with the tackle in the back. Free kick, Higgins. Now, North Melbourne really just need to settle here for a moment and just slow the game down a moment. Just chip-a-roo. Oh, Tarrant, big inside 50. Almost a mark down there. Nat Nui gets a tackle on. Jetta picks it up. Hamilton, McGovern. McGovern out wide, looking for Hearn. Hearn picks it up. Little shimmy, but now it's picked up by Nahas. Play on not 15 is a call. West Coast work it out of there towards Darling. 4 minutes on the clock and counting. They got to move it forward now. They're only going to win if they take this to overtime. Kennedy, again, marking absolutely everything. It's an R forward. Goes with the long ball to Lacra. Needs a mark. He's got it. He's got a man in the goal square, so you'd want to make sure he actually kicks his goal because he did have a player on. And Lacra nails it. So we've got 2 minutes 19 in this fourth term before we could go into OT. We've already seen one final in this series go to overtime. Nat Nui out of the middle. Finds someone and now he's going to get it back. West Coast get the numbers forward. There's a minute 20 on the clock. They're going to have an opportunity. Luke Shuey to tie the game. Oh, he's done it. Oh boy. Oh man. Unless there's a clearance and a mark, Shuey has just done enough to send this game into overtime. Oh my goodness. Big final minute coming up here. Nat Nui and Goldstein out of the middle. It's Goldstein. Tap down forward. Finds Tarrant. Inside the 50. Robbie Tarrant is going to have a kick after the siren to send North Melbourne into the preliminary finals. Isaac Smith couldn't do it. Robbie Tarrant can. It's through the middle. And the North Melbourne, after the siren, have gone into the preliminary final. He just needed a score. Made the distance with absolute ease from about 50 metres out. Oh boy, that is sensational. Look at him, get excited. Alright guys, let's recap what's gone on through this final series. We've seen the Tigers win in triple overtime against the Swans with Dustin Martin dominating that game. And the Cats getting a 26-point win over the Gold Coast in the first elimination final to send them into a match against the Swans, who lost in triple overtime there. Then you had the West Coast Eagles, Jack Darling, win the game for them with a 1-point elimination final win over Carlton to send them packing in the Perth final there. And Collingwood and North Melbourne played off in a shocking contest. Very low scoring. North Melbourne with just a 1 goal for the game, and Collingwood got into the preliminary finals. Now in the semi-finals, we saw exactly what just happened then. The Swans got knocked out by Geelong. West Coast got knocked out by North Melbourne after the siren. And this is how it looks going into the grand final. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for the preliminary finals.